So our next lesson from the pen is more so a lesson about family. We went over the life lessons, but family and I would just pop it off by saying the importance, the value of family and the importance of family.
And you mean where you come from, right? As far as like before you even enter the joint.
Right. I mean, like my mama, my daddy, my sister, my brother, auntie, like family, you know?
Let's get it.
Man, first and foremost, like we said, captivity is the next thing to death. So where I'm constantly in an environment where I have to think about the possibility of my death, I've realized that the moment the thought of death hits you, or right before you die, you have these thoughts about the shit you about to part with, the things and the people you about to leave behind. You see what I'm saying? Your mind will go straight to that. Even with getting locked up, well, your freedom goes free, like captivity. You getting locked up, you're like, damn, the kids, my lady, you start thinking about that stuff because you realize you're getting pulled away from it. It really matters to you. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Bro, I can tell you the level of abandonment issues that I deal with.
Give me some.
I'm telling you that I dealt with, bro, because not only, it wasn't so much that my family didn't want to be there, they didn't have the resources to be there. Everybody ain't have cars to drive county to county to come visit. Everybody ain't making the bread where they can keep you laced on your books and stuff every month, every week. You know what I'm saying? Even though I watched people have that, they was fortunate, but
and felt like I deserved it.
Right, and felt like where mine at.
Especially me, I'm fresh.
Entitled.
You ain't gonna see it fresh now. Cookies and honey buns is a want, not a need.
I'm telling you.
But I need toothpaste, deodorant, hygiene. So you mean tell me you love me? Mama, sister, cousin, aunt? Okay, this ain't no shot to nobody.
Right.
Because ain't nobody owe me nothing.
Right.
That's another thing that I had to realize too. Ain't nobody owe me nothing. I put myself in that situation.
Entitlement, bro.
Right.
Entitlement.
However, it was like I felt the sense of abandonment based on the love that was taught to me when I was a kid.
Yep.
You know, even before I started making my own decisions that I knew that could get me in trouble and there was going to be consequences behind them.
Right.
So once I got incarcerated, my first 3 years was, excuse my language, hell. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to figure it out. I was like a savage in the pursuit of happiness. You know what I'm saying? I still had my morals and principles intact. Like I wasn't stealing from nobody. I wasn't robbing nobody. I wasn't stabbing innocent people or nothing. You know? But I felt the sense of abandonment. I did 5 years in solitary confinement. Locked in an 8x10 cell for 5 years straight. You know what I mean? I might have had 5 showers in 5 years.
5.
And then when I did shower, I had to hang a curtain up. The toilet right here, my roommate about 2 inches behind me, I had to hang a curtain up and get up in the sink and wash up in the sink. You know what I'm saying? When I had to defecate or use the bathroom, you know what I mean? I had to do the same thing. You know what I mean? So I had to learn how to respect people's space.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How to respect people's time. And all that came from the morals and principles that my family instilled into me when I was a kid, especially my grandmother. Shout out to Granny, long live her. But at the same time, it was like, oh man. She was my why.
Yeah.
She was my why. My granny was my why. Why did I want to get out of prison? I want to go see Granny. This ain't love back here. This ain't real. This shit fake. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad of the foundation that I came from, because when I realized that didn't nobody owe me nothing, I put myself there, it started making me analyze and start doing self-inventory on myself and realize, like, how did I get here? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what it takes, bro. And I can piggyback off that granny piece, bro, because for about 3-4 years out of my young life, I had to stay with my grandma. Like my younger years, bro, that's what it was. It was like a house-to-house type situation.
Right.
And people don't realize, bro, even that molds a young mind to
They're
never feel like or experience what it means to like sit at a table with a family.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Have dinner and talk, and you know, once you don't experience that, that's not part of your reality, bro.
Right.
But I can't say, bro, I can remember times when I lived with my grandma, and I'm so grateful for this because I realize how powerful mentally I am now. But it was them days, bro, and I had to be like first grade. It was them days where I wanted to rush through my homework or whatnot. Might know the answer and it might be right, but my grandma would make me, and this the reason why this sticks with me, because it was at that time I was doing work revolving around reading with comprehension. You can read, yeah, okay, and that was my thing. Wanted to show my grandma, I know the word. And yeah, you got the word right, but what is it saying, Jamar? Like, this is my grandma.
What does it mean?
But I appreciate that because just like with any other skill, you got to practice at it to get better. You know what I'm saying? And that girl, like my grandma, really put that time in to make sure like we got that homework done and we read with understanding. And now here I'm in life, and I tell people all the time, bro, your behind better know how to read, write, and speak if you want to make it anywhere in this world.
Yes.
If you want to elevate, you better know how to read, write, and speak.
And count.
Apartment and count. Yeah, I left that out.
Don't forget the numbers.
Right, but yeah, though, man, family became important to me, man, because it's just like once and it's crazy, but even the smallest things, bro, once you deprive of them, you know what I'm saying? It makes you grow to cherish it. You know what I'm saying?
Going all them years without a visit.
Exactly, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And bro, and once again, my upbringing was a little different. You know what I'm saying? My pops was gone since I was like 3. Died in a police standoff. My mom Deuce had her struggle. You know, she had a couple penitentiary bids.
Mine
you
too.
know, so it was that type of thing. So like I said, it led me and my brother to be just house to house type situation. So to be honest, the abandonment issues was already there.
Yeah.
Because I was a mama's boy, bro. But what am I to do when a day will pop up and my mama gone for months? You see what I'm saying? And then to find out, oh yeah, she in prison. You know what I'm saying? And then this keep happening. After a while, you start to fall back from the love because you feel like it's gonna get taken away anyway. Of course.
And see, for me, I felt like love came with expectations. So I cut all sentiments of love out of my life while I was incarcerated.
That's what I was about to say.
After my first couple of years, I cut all sentiments of love out of my life because I came with expectations.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And now I've grown to realize, man, you expect nothing from no one. That way you always know what to expect. Nothing.
Love is the highest level of understanding. I had this conversation with somebody yesterday. Now, I'm just putting, for lack of a better term, label on it because even with what I'm explaining outside of God and maybe my mama, I can't really say that I experienced like the type of love that I'm describing to you. But love is the highest level of understanding.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When you fully understand a person's being and their essence, not just who they are, their name, and not just that, they being and their essence, you see them different. You see what I'm saying?
Right. And the only way you can see them different, and not to cut your wisdom again, the only way you can see them different if you got a vision, if God have blessed you with a vision so advanced that you can see behind the mask that people be wearing.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
Yeah.
Bro, me understanding the value of a woman and a black woman at that, being that I'm a black man.
Right.
Me understanding the value of a woman, understand her essence, her being the first teacher of nations, because they the first teachers of our babies, the givers of life. Me understanding the value of that. I'm always gonna put a woman on pedestal. Unfortunately, we see what's happening with a lot of our sisters and stuff out there, but in reference to your mom, like I understand her position. Whether she living or not, just like my pops, I understand his position. I'm tapped into the feminine aspect of who I am to receive and honor my pops if he was still alive as the man who he's supposed to be, despite his financial situation. While at the same time, I do the same thing for my mama, despite her financial situation. Society wouldn't even hold my mama's financial situation against her, but you'll hold it against my pops, though.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's deeper for me because my thinking and my aspirations aren't guided by money, by finances. What I got going on in business is one thing. Of course, that's what we in business to do. However, in reference to how I see and value others, that has nothing to do with status in society, financial situation, none of that.
No.
The life of the person. You see what I'm saying? The life of the person. So family and the importance of it, bro. I saw that value, and everybody in my family could tell you, bro, on both sides, daddy and mama, I came out of the penitentiary, hit the ground running on pulling everybody together. A lot of elders had them pass while I was gone.
Prison make you do that, though.
Of course it do.
Yes,
and successful.
Yes.
We have our hiccups, but successful.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because I realized, man, like even in the penitentiary, my experience was a little smoother than a lot of people. You see what I'm saying? But I understand how in that jungle, mind you now, America's a jungle too, whether you see it. But in that jungle, my homies, and we had each other back. In that jungle, the it's just like the lion pride or any animal ecosystem. They always stronger when they together. You know what I'm saying? And in that jungle, I remember when I was on certain yards where they ain't too much like bloods, bro. I'm talking about when they going down, they three to every one of us. Yeah. Like them odds right there, bro. I'm telling you, bro. It'll make a man out you.
Yeah, but we still were seen as the enforcers.
Right. But but my point in that is, I translate that experience, learning that in pen, out here.
Right.
You need your family. You know what I'm saying? To go on further to say this is a capitalism environment. Capitalism is a family game, just as the financial game of Monopoly is a family game. You know, when you got family members in place who all can contribute to making sure our next generation of young people got the right credit score they need, got some finances put up for after high school, college paid for, we own the properties in a house in their name, or they always can come back to the home. Despite the ego that people translate in them situations where you're supposed to prove you something, despite all that, man, that's a solid foundation to give any person a leg up in life so they can get this stuff right. Absolutely. We suffer because nobody articulated this game to us. No, our mamas didn't teach us, dad, nobody.
Tell me one day, they was on, I got a phone call, they was very distraught, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm like, so what's going on? They was like, man, I got my taxes and they done took such and such amount of money for my student loan, right?
Right.
So I was like, well, think about this. When you got that money from them people, you didn't get that money so you can go to Miami, to the beach,
right,
to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all know y'all be taking a trip.
You feel me? You got that money because you made a conscious decision to be great.
Yeah.
And being that your family didn't have the generational wealth set up, you know what I'm saying, for you to go to college to be able to take these courses so you can strive to be great, then you had to go borrow that money from the people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So don't get it twisted. The people want their money back, whether you
do.
Graduated or not.
Of course they do.
It's a cycle.
You better have a plan.
You better have a plan.
So
it's about your mentality.
Once again, man, capitalism is a family game, bro. This ain't nothing for one man to just like, yeah, I'm gonna get up and, you know how much pressure it is on somebody who decide to step away from the crowd and not be content and not just go to work and not stay average. You know how much pressure it is on that person when they get on their journey? I ain't say when they make it to success, just on your journey. Because all your family gonna be seeing that, all your peers gonna be seeing that, and you'd be surprised how many people feel like they're entitled to what you've worked to accomplish or obtain.
Man,
you
should put entitled.
A lot of pressure, bro.
Put that word entitled down there in big bold letters.
Right.
That's the word. That's what the world we living in now. The sense of entitlement is through the roof.
And to a certain extent, I get it because everybody is at the bottom trying to climb their way up. So as soon as it seems like somebody like headed that way, we just want to attach ourselves to them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But especially for people like myself, where my peers, my family, you already be knowing. Bro, I get the shirt off my back. You know what I'm saying? Like my heart and my intentions are pure.
Right.
However, gotta let me get to where I'm going, bro, and get a big enough bag to be able to take care of me, because self-preservation is number one, and then put everything in place.
Because it's definitely a process.
It's definitely a process.
You go back to what you were saying about the lion. They say the lion, the king of the jungle.
Right.
But how? He ain't the biggest. What, the elephant the biggest? He ain't the fastest. You feel what I'm saying? What, the hyena or the cheetah the fastest? And he ain't the strongest.
Right.
It was his mentality. Because a lion will see an elephant and he'll think eat. Big as an elephant is, he'll see a lion and he'll think run.
Go get him.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's your mentality, man, how you make it out.
Right,
You feel me?
right.
You got to be the one that defines your destiny, man, no matter your geographical location. Remember that.
And to wrap this one up, man, I just say, bro, understand, bro, like, even for us men out here and you know, or even the young people coming up, man, family, bro, be very careful and very intentional about moving forward with having children with people, starting families. You know what I'm saying? Of course it's a good thing. You being fruitful and you multiplying. However, bro, don't bring another person into this hellhole, you know what I'm saying, and don't give them the tools and the knowledge they need to maneuver their way through it. Because we ain't doing but passing pain on, bro.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? Once again, we speak from a place of somebody who were them young guys. You see what I'm saying? Who needed people like us in their lives.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? This therapy. You know what I'm saying? But we trying to save you from having to go through the headache, bro. You see what I'm saying? Once again, exploring street knowledge, the power of street knowledge, that is, but from a different perspective. So real quick, man, life lessons from the pen. But this go round, we speaking about peers, man. The ones you come up around, your friends, your homeboys, your homies, your peers. Life lessons. You want to lead with a life lesson that you learned while in the pen about your peers? I got a couple of them on my
Well, I want you to start.
I'm ready to shoot.
I'm ready for you to,
okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Cool. So just off the top of my head, bro, and bro, it ain't no, damn, I wish. I gotta keep saying this, bro. It ain't no shade because I know I gotta say it, bro, because I know when cats be hearing this, he's like, oh, nigga talking down. But it's like, bro, you gotta understand, bro, like my whole identity was built in the set. You know, I'm just being real. Like everything I became was through the set first. So, bro, if nobody else get it, I get it. You see what I'm saying? And I'm talking about the rawest version of the set, the penitentiary life. If nobody else get it, I get it. However, I just can't stay focused on certain things when it's so much more abundance out here. You see what I'm saying? So I can't sit up here like, you know what? Man, hell yeah, bro. Like the homies, just around the third. All you youngins, bro, y'all go tap in. The homies gonna show you a good time, this, that, and the third. Bro, a lot of people are living an outdated reality, bro. An outdated reality. Older homies living in the past. You see what I'm saying? Like young homies right now just living in chaos with no direction. You know what I'm saying? And once again, it ain't no shade, bro. I understand the life. You know what I'm saying? Food trying to put on, food trying to rip. Like, I get it. However, you gotta stop for a minute, bro, from all the distractions and look at yourself. Look, if life was a game, where are you at in this game? What position do you hold? Where are you at on the scale, bro? Bro, a lot of people who are older have these conversations with people who are younger because they really trying to pull your coattail to something that they didn't see or they didn't think of when they was young. So it's like, listen, bro, I'm telling you, boy, look, if you go ahead before you get out of high school, boy, get your credit right and go ahead and have you a business idea, this, that, and the third, I'm telling you how to up on everybody else. Because it shouldn't have took us till we 30 to know how that starting a business, opening a business is an option. It shouldn't have took that long. All the information is in front of us, and especially with the internet at the click of a button. So once again, bro, man, cats is living an outdated reality. To give you another example of what I mean, man. You can get away with stuff in the 90s and the early 2000s when it comes to the streets, when it comes to crime, that you can't get away with now. Think about it. Shit, back in the earlier mafia days, early 1900s, bro, they was just pulling up, blowing somebody's brains out and pushing. You ain't have all the technology. So if you ain't got a witness, you ain't got nothing. And then if my homie's on deck, it ain't no witnesses neither. You see what I'm saying? Not promoting crime, but I'm using it as an example.
We play
to show that
no control.
Exactly. To show that, bro, it's outdated.
For real.
You're in a high technological environment right now. And it's only gonna keep getting more technical, bro.
Yeah, Malcolm X said a long time ago, man, over 50 years ago, he said, in the fast pace of the world today, it's so easy for something to be done right now to be outdated in the very next second.
Exactly.
That was 50 years ago, so imagine now.
And think about how we look at like crypto and all that. You know what I'm saying? One for a 3-month run, a certain coin is the hype. Everybody talking about it. You know what I'm saying? And then come to find out a month later, it's a rug pull. Gotcha. You see what I'm saying? So that, and then, bro, this is the reason why we striving to get y'all to stop and think. Not only think, educate yourself, get more information so you can see the big picture, bro. To see the big picture. You live in an outdated reality, bro. This place is going into total digital. It's there now, but it's about to get even more digital. So if you're not doing the things in your life right now to transition with that, you're gonna get left behind, bro. Just like the movie Leave the World Behind, bro. You're gonna get left behind with them outdated whatever you got going on.
It took me to get left behind, though, bro. Be honest with you, and I know that's what you're speaking from too. It took us to get left behind in order for us to catch up.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So for some people, we know that everybody's level of perception ain't the same. We all can be looking at the same thing and see something totally different.
Right.
We are very aware of that. But you know, back to what you were saying, man, you got to realize that, man, what ain't for you ain't gonna never be for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That temporary pleasure and you know that paper dollar. You got to learn how to put it in perspective because even with the money, it's certain things you got to do once you get money.
Once you get it, to
that
keep
you
it.
ain't had to do to get the money. You know what I'm saying?
And that shit costs. It costs. But we learn that shit through trial and error. Like the brother said, perspective. There's a saying that we all can be in the same building but have different views. Because I may be on the 5th floor, you may be on the 3rd floor. So we looking at the exact same thing. So while you telling me like, oh, bro, you don't know what you talking about. It's popping out here, bro. The street, things getting money. We going up. But you don't realize I'm on the 5th floor. I can see on the other side of that hill, the damn police done hired the damn, like SWAT National Guard coming. So while you right here on level 1 thinking you doing something, bro, you don't even see, bro. They got a whole trap ambush waiting on you. You see what I'm saying? It's about perspective, bro. So when we speak about having experience, we got over 20 years in the set. Perspective. We gonna know more about it than you. When we speak about having studied for years on some of these topics, perspective, we gonna know a little bit more. You feel what I'm saying? But bro, like I said, man, just continue to pull back the curtains and realize, bro, you dealing with the real. That's why on the intro we tell you we thank you for tapping in with the real, because we gonna give you the perspective that's gonna mean you some well. Living them outdated realities, thinking you're gonna be able to do 1990s and early 2000s work 25 years in the 21st century, you tripping, bro.
And it's bigger than the paper dollar too, because even though I had done did 15 years and I had done read a lot of books and worked out, and you know I like to say my mantra, I've elevated, educated, liberated my mind, body, and soul. It still took me to get out here with the amount of money that I had. I thought I was okay, because I thought I was coming home to the $500-$600 rents. Right. It take $20 to fill up a tank of gas to fill up your car. No.
Everything to double up.
I realized that I was behind time when I got out here.
Word,
you know what I'm saying? So, and then I also realized why a lot of people looked at me like I was ahead of time once I got out here. You feel what I'm saying? It's only because I had structure.
Right.
And that go back to prison. Prison taught us structure. You know what I'm saying? When you get out here, you start seeing why so many people like, yeah, you've been working before I left, you had a job.
Right.
I came home, you still working at the same job. But you're still in the same situation, doing the same shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's only because you don't know how to break that cycle. A lot of people just been out here moving on the whim and not judging nobody in there, not down on nobody in there, because I'm still struggling. Right. My test still tested. We just trying to tell you, man, it is a better way. You got to find your purpose for living.
So outdated realities with a little bit of, not a financial advisor, but just, I got a little bit of information from my experience. You know, I speak about this all the time, bro. When your reality is going to work. Going to work to get the check. Boy, we're about to get to the bag. Boy, I work 2 jobs now. Going to work to get the check, but knowing that a job is never going to pay you more than what you need to pay them bills and bring your butt right back to work. At the same time, inflation or the cost of living on everything is going up. The number's not numbering, bro. It ain't going to never work. So I say again, outdated realities. We living in a time now, bro, where you need to have some type of side business or go in entrepreneurship or some type of investment. You basically need damn near 2 income households just to get by.
Yes, you better
just to get by.
Yeah, finna pay mortgage right now.
But think for the man who can jump on his laptop at 9 a.m. in the morning and stay on it till 12. He doing some trading with stocks. You know what I'm saying? And he just made his whole monthly income just this morning. He live in a more updated reality.
Indeed.
You know, the man who could do start a business and he only doing speaking engagements on the weekend. You see what I'm saying? But his speaking engagements bringing in hundreds of dollars equating to thousands of dollars. You know what I'm saying? You live in a more in tune reality. So that's what we talking about. You know what I'm saying? Once again, once you get schooled to the way this system works, it's easier to see the whole playing field and what you need to do for you. I speak about being a chessboard thinker, and that's just somebody who actually can see the whole field from a bird's eye view and then make your moves based on that.
Absolutely.
If you living in the maze, bro, you'll never be able to see the big picture, so that way you make the moves that are in your best interest. You're going to be making the moves based off what people told you should be doing. Think about it. We come into this world, they tell us to go to school. They tell us what our name is and how old we are. They tell us you got to go to college after this, or you got to get a job. When there's so other many ways to live life in a capitalist society. Why parents aren't adding their children as authorized users to their credit card, so that way their children can mirror the same credit report as them, credit score as them. You see what I'm saying? When we know you need credit to get a phone, get a car, get a place to stay, you need this stuff. Why aren't Roth accounts, IRA accounts, and things of that nature not being put in place for young people when they're children, and it gain compound interest with time, so that way you have some type of financial cushion as you take on life? You ain't got to be a certain color to obtain these things. You need to be of a certain mindset. You need knowledge. You need to get your mind right, homie.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? And once again, I know some of this stuff cliche, but I keep telling y'all, tap in with the real. Tap in with somebody who can give it to you the same way they're going to give it to you, but pull back the curtains and dig a little deeper to show you, like, look, this is the truth. Yeah, this is how you use this stuff. This is how you change your situation. You see what I'm saying? Y'all got to realize, bro, in the game of marketing, it's a lot of manipulation, and US is a corporation full of them. In a capitalist society, they rule, bro. So there's already a system in place. You know what I'm saying? There's already a life for you in place that helps somebody else build their dream. And you can stay there, or you can make the decision to grab life by the horns and live out your life building your own. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, man, once again, y'all at the J Shop Podcast, bro, and this was Lessons Learned from the Pen with your co-host, JPower, and co-host,
Fresh.
Man, y'all stay tuned. Keep tapping in. Peace and respect.
Peace and blessings.
Love. Peace.